Hello everyone, welcome to ZigWheels, where today we are finding out which is the most fun 125cc scooter that you can buy in India right now. Now we've got these lovely 125cc scooters here, and what better place to test them out than at a racetrack. And here are today's contenders: the super stylish Vespa Racing Sixties 125, sporty Aprilia Storm 125, the funky Yamaha RayZR 125, the racy TVS NTorq 125 Race Edition, and the maxi Suzuki Burgman Street 125. Now, in order to get the best out of every scooter, we need someone who is lean and mean, and not fat and not so furious. Hence, presenting our rider, who is well versed with the layout of the new Circuit 77 go-kart track here in Pune. We have a few tests for the scooters, and the ranking system is quite simple. Since there are 5 scooters here, the winner of the test receives 5 points. If it is second, then 4, third, then 3, and so on. At the end, the one with the most points accrued will be the winner. Now, each of these scooters has first been put through our test cycle, as it helps us find out which one of these is the quickest to get to 60 kmph and which one also stops the soonest from there. Despite being one of the largest scooters here, the Suzuki Burgman Street 125 romped ahead to an early lead in the acceleration charts. The heft of the Vespa and the Aprilia meant that they were going to be quite slow off the mark. But the tables turned on their head when it came to the braking test, where the Vespa's fierce brake bite and incredible brake progression made it quite a capable stopper. Here's how the scooters stack up after the first 2 tests. Let's get down to some serious business. It's time for some hot laps. Yo! Yo, do it! It might be the Racing 60s edition, but no additional boost here for the Vespa. Its great braking prowess helps in braking as late as possible, but the lack of drive out of slower bends meant it spooled up quite slow. Plus, its vague handling was a bit unnerving around the track, and hence it put up a lap time of 40.89 seconds. Is the lightest one here and fairly quick off the line, but the shortcomings in the power department of the Yamaha RayZR 125 are exposed here on the track. It was slow getting away from 25 kmph, and the smaller 10-inch wheel didn't aid in cornering stability. The Burgman did feel its size around the cramped Circuit 77 track. The poor brakes, soft suspension setup, and squiggly MRF tires didn't help its cause either. But still, the swift acceleration out of slow speed corners helped the Burgman topple the Vespa off the leaderboard. The hashtag Be a Racer Aprilia Storm had a lot riding on its shoulders. The motor feels sprightly for the most part. You can brake as late as possible here. It is very flickable, and the grip from the V-rubber tires is phenomenal. But the chunkiness of the block pattern tires give you a very weird steering feel. Sadly, this unnerving feel translated into a slow lap time. Banking on 35 plus years of racing pedigree, the TVS NTorq has the best chassis and hardware combination of the lot. You can chuck it into bends and flick it to another side in an instant. It brakes well, and the tires never really showed any signs of squirming. And it completed the lap in 40.72 seconds. Yes, the Burgman beat the NTorq here, as the latter is slow getting off the line and hence curbs it from setting the quickest time here. Yo. Okay, so science and numbers have proven that the sportiest 125cc scooter
Hey, genius. That's me. But Jehan, you're missing out on a very important Japanese scooter.
No, I haven't missed out on any. I did call up Honda and ask them for the Grazia. Sadly, they didn't have one in their media fleet.
I'm not talking about the Grazia. You're not going to get the scooter in 2020. I'm talking about this.
You know, we are testing out fun 125cc scooters, no? Not the boring one.
But you're missing out on an aspect that this is the quickest scooter that we have tested, and that means performance. Oi, Sasta Stick, go for a lap.
Okay, the Access might be the quickest off the line, but still out here on the track, it had a lot to deal with. It had the worst brakes in this segment, meaning you had to get off the gas sooner. Plus, its easy handling, soft suspension and not so grippy tires meant it was not getting around bends as quickly as it could have, and hence it could only set a lap time of 41.23 seconds. Here's how each test result is affected with the Access now being added, and as you can see, it hasn't affected the top at all. See, I told you it is not going to be the sportiest scooter here. It's the most stylish cousin, the Burgman Street.
Yes, I agree that the Access isn't the quickest scooter out here. But you know what? People don't buy a fun scooter to go around a go-kart circuit. They live in the real world, and I'll meet you there tomorrow at 7 AM. Good morning, Jan, and welcome to the real world. We're going to start our practical test with the floorboard test.
So how are we going to determine which one of these has the better floor space?
That's a good question. For that, we're going to use some science. The maxi styling of the Burgman meant our rider had ample space to stretch his legs out even if there was a medium-sized suitcase, outdoing its sensible cousin here as well.
Wow, Arun, that was some science test.
Yes, Jan, and the next test that we're going to do is the underseat storage. And since I know that you're a mama's boy, she wants you to do some grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping? Here?
Yes, magic.
Open your eyes, cause boy, it comes as no surprise that I am not waiting around. I got money in the bank in only 24 hours to make my mark on the planet. We're wearing nothing but carrots. So slide into my DMs and we'll stay to the AM. I know some guys at the city causing some MAYAGM.
Unsurprisingly, the Burgman won this test as well, as it gobbled 10 kg of potatoes, while the Aprilia Storm could manage a measly 6 kgs.
Okay, Arun, now what's the next test?
Jehan, we are going to do something rugged. Next up is the ride quality test.
Okay, so science ho gaya, magic ho gaya. Now what?
Next up, I have some jugaad.
Gotta keep up, pick your speed up. Gotta go faster, maybe we can meet up.
The Suzukis are softly sprung, which while being comfy for the most part, but with a pillion makes the ride quality wallowy. On both the Burgman and the Access, Jehan was tossed up in the air, spilling over water. The surprise element was the TVS NTorq, which despite running a firmer suspension tune, was pliant and composed over all the bumps. As for Aprilia and Vespa, we knew what was going to happen already, didn't we? In recent times, manufacturers have loaded their 125cc scooters with modern and convenient features. But which one is the most feature-rich scooter among them all? For that, we devised a small list of essential features and gave each scooter a point if they had them. At the end, here's how they stack. Both the NTorq and the Access are neck and neck in this field here. They offer every single one of the features in this list, and hence picking one over the other was not possible. While Jehan might not agree, even if you're buying a fun scooter, aspects such as fuel efficiency and price do matter for buyers. In both the areas, the Yamaha RayZR 125 emerges on top. The Yamaha is the most frugal 125cc scooter that we have tested, and since we are taking only the top variants of each scooter into account, the RayZR 125 is almost 3,500 rupees cheaper than its next competitor. If we tally up all the results, the end score chart turns out to be as follows.
So it's finally time for the verdict, and Arun, the winner isn't your Access.
Yeah, Jehan, my money was on the Access, but because it was the quickest scooter that we had tested. But the Burgman really surprised me. It was the quickest on the track yesterday, and even in our sensibility test of science, magic and jugaad, the Burgman is the winner and is our pick as the best fun and sensible 125cc scooter.
But leaving the sensible part aside, if you want a pure fun scooter, if you are a younger audience, I think the NTorq is still the better bet.
No, I think the Burgman. Science has proved it.
Why don't we let them decide?
Okay guys, do let us know in the comments which is the better scooter of the two. And thank you for watching.
Okay, you want me to shout? So sign. जुगाड़ बोला क्या इसने?
Yeah, but
आलू ले लो, लाइक शेयर सब्सक्राइब कर लो।
24 पैटीज
इनमें से कुछ भी नहीं बिका सर।
क्या सेल करेगा जिमी? 20 साल में कभी ऐसा नहीं देखा है। नो कस्टमर्स, नो सेल।
कार देखो गाड़ी पे होम इंस्पेक्शन बुक करो और कार बेचो ऑफिस, घर या कहीं से भी और पाओ बेस्ट प्राइस, क्विक पेमेंट, फ्री आरसी ट्रांसफर एंड डॉक्यूमेंटेशन। आज से तुम यहाँ पे वेटर नहीं, डिलीवरी बॉय भी। अभी जाओ। कार देखो गाड़ी पे होम इंस्पेक्शन बुक करो और बेस्ट प्राइस पे कार बेचो कहीं से भी। गाड़ी फॉरवर्ड तो इंडिया फॉरवर्ड।